Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And today we're going to talk to a special guest that I've talked to before and I really enjoy talking with. And her name is Laura Collinwood from Health and Wisdom. And she has been very influential in my life because she sells a lot of products with magnesium that are unusual compared to the tablets you get on the market. And they have become so effective for me. I think a couple weeks ago, did I just order? I think it was, I don't know how many pounds it was of magnesium bath crystals I ordered for
It was
myself.
a 5-gallon bucket full.
Yeah, I couldn't even carry it in, but I love this stuff so much. My husband's like, "Good Lord." I was like, "I love it." And you have to use very much, but I almost ran out and I panicked. So I was like, I don't want to go open the ones I sell to people. So I just ordered a big bucket, but I started taking magnesium bath. I think we talked like a year and a half ago or something.
Mhm.
And she explained to me a lot of things, but I realized that the magnesium that she sells is the same one they gave me in the hospital when they were trying to bring down my blood pressure. It was the same exact thing. And that was so effective because I had preeclampsia with my child. And I think I've had a lifelong problem with hanging on to magnesium because
Yeah, me too.
I've taken supplements for, oh gosh, since my first child, which was, okay, almost 39 years ago. Because I found it was so helpful to so many things, and it really helped my blood pressure. But it wasn't until I realized, that the best way to absorb it, and I had known about it before, was through the skin. And when I started doing your bath crystals or your magnesium oil, the gel, I really, really love your muscle recovery. Is that what it's called? Let me see if I have it.
Yep, muscle recovery.
Yeah, spray on. I'm telling you, I've got so many stories about that now. I started seeing such a difference that I stopped having to take those supplements because I just felt like everything was doing so much better, and I think the body likes it better, and I know
Yeah,
that you said the is it the blood vessels that dilate that go to the surface when you're
mhm.
taking a bath and you got magnesium in there? It's looking for it all the time. Your body is looking for it,
Right,
and
right.
I saw
Well,
huge changes in myself from doing. And I love taking baths. Some people don't, so you can use the oils if you don't.
sure.
But
Well,
I
let me
have
tell you just a little bit about the difference then when you're taking magnesium by mouth versus when you're using magnesium in a foot soak or a bath or applying it to the skin. So with the oral magnesium, um, I think oral magnesium's great,
Mhm.
but you're limited in how much you can take because magnesium naturally pulls water toward it. And so if you get too much magnesium, it just kind of rushes through the body too fast. It
Yeah,
kind of gets everything going. Some people use it for that
you
purpose
get
to kind
loose
of get
stools,
things
right?
going.
Because
Right.
I've done
Yeah.
that before,
It
yeah.
can get, yeah. But with the magnesium that you soak in, you can actually soak in quite a bit more magnesium than you can take by mouth. And so, really, when you're taking it by mouth, you're barely keeping up with your daily requirements. And
Agreed.
so, if you need like 350 milligrams and you're taking 350 to 400 milligrams, you will absorb between 40 and 50% of that if your gut is healthy. So, you're not getting quite as much as you need daily, but hopefully you're eating a good diet and getting the rest of the magnesium you need. But because of absorption issues in the gut and and because you're limited in the amount of magnesium that you can take in a single dose, usually you're
Right,
just able to keep up with what you need
right.
daily. When you soak in it, you can actually, these magnesium. So, for example, you're talking about magnesium bath crystals. So, these are the magnesium bath crystals. They have this little tiny 1 ounce scoop in them. And
Right,
for a foot soak, you only need one or two of those little tiny scoops.
right.
For a bath, usually 3 or 4, and that's it. And so you don't use a lot like you would Epsom salts or other types of magnesium. And it's magnesium chloride. It's very, very concentrated. So we source our magnesium bath crystals from the Dead Sea. And
Mm.
so if anybody's ever been to the Dead Sea and kind of soaked there and it just you afloat because it's
Yep,
so saturated with minerals, that's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like, having kind of that spa right in your own bathroom
in
and
your
being able
bathroom.
to soak in that magnesium and absorb it. But you're right, it absorbs much more readily through the skin even than you can when you take it by mouth.
Well, just recently, and about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, my husband and I went to a place in Desert Hot Springs where they had these mineral baths, and we did it last year too, and we loved it so much. It was our 40th anniversary, and we were gonna do something elaborate, and I said, "I just wanna go to those mineral baths because I love them so much."
Uh-huh.
And they had all these mineral baths. It's a natural thing that comes up from the ground, and they give you all the minerals that are in it, and they have them in the rooms. They have them in the bathtubs in the rooms where you can pump it into your room.
Oh,
And
wow.
they also have these beautiful ones all over the property. There's like and the pool has some of it in it. They don't have the pool also has other water because it would be too hot because it comes out of the ground and it's like 104 to 100 degrees in the
Oh,
it's higher than that sometimes as it's,
yeah.
geothermal thing. Anyway, so we love it. It's called Azure Day Spring Spa, and it's in Desert Hot Springs. I mean, they don't tell me to say this, but I just love the place. So anyway, we went there a few weeks and we had gone last year. And when I go there, I mean, it was the second day there, and I was so busy before I left, and it was kind of stressing me out to leave because I had so much stuff going on, so
Mhm.
many shipments, all this stuff was happening. But the second day I got there, and the first day we got there, like, 1 o'clock or something in the afternoon, then we went and soaked in the spa. That's all I cared about. That's all we cared about. We did it like 3, 4 times a day. They have like a cold room, they have a Himalayan salt room, but all I wanted to do was go to those crazy spas, and as soon as I got in them, you just feel it. I could feel a difference. Well, the second day I was there, we they have a wonderful cafe there, and I went downstairs to get a matcha tea for breakfast, and I was sitting in the cafe and, we had just gotten out of the hot tub, or not a hot tub, the hot spa, the
Mhm.
geothermal, and I was sitting in there, and all of a sudden, I just felt like the weight of the world had rolled off my shoulders, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I needed this so much." I didn't know how much stress I had been under, but there is something about a mineral bath
Mhm.
that does something to you that I can't get any other way. Yeah, and I think it's the magnesium. I mean, there's a lot of other minerals in mineral baths, but, um, it is like it is like one of nature's miracles. I love it, and there's hot springs all over the place in different parts. I went to
Yeah.
another one just recently with my girls, but they didn't have the magnesium in it, and I could feel the difference. It had
Oh,
other
you
minerals,
could?
but I
Okay.
could feel it wasn't the same for me.
Yeah.
This one has some of the highest concentrations of it. They have the best drinking water, I guess, in the world, they said. I couldn't get enough of
Wow.
their water, and I'm like, "Do you think I'm craving it because of the magnesium?" Because I would just it's the one is the cleanest, the purest, and
Wow.
we went and visited this museum, which was this guy's house who found the springs there back in the oh gosh, 1920s or something like that, where he found him with a shovel. The Indians helped
Uh-huh.
him find it, and he found cold water, he found hot springs. Anyway,
Wow.
the whole town built around it. They used it to help treat, doctors. There was a doctor who helped treat kids who had been damaged by polio in these mineral springs because their joints were
Oh,
so
wow.
deformed, and it would help them so much. And they have things in there. And I learned all this history and all the things so many people have been there, and, I'm just a big believer in magnesium and getting it, through your skin. I just think it's the greatest thing ever. It's helped
It
me so
is.
much. I can't even tell you. And I know this sounds like it's a bunch of hype, but I am not kidding. I take mineral baths 2 to 3 times, maybe 3 times on average, maybe more in the
Week.
winter because I like
That's so
them because I get
good.
cold, but I take them constantly. I mean, I wish I could make my pool one of those hot mineral things. Well, it's not hot, but they had some warm water pumping into there than cool water because it
Yeah,
has had such a profound effect on me and
it does. Well,
magnesium and my husband,
I
not just me, my husband too.
I love how you talk about doctors using it for children with polio because they would just ache and hurt. Because one of the things that we hear over and over and over again from people who use our magnesium is that it helps so much with joint pain. It helps
It
decrease
does.
inflammation and so magnesium is the relaxer mineral. And so if you've got overly sensitive nerves that are just constantly firing and making you feel those painful sensations or even like a tingly or burning sensation, often it will relax those nerves, and it does the same with muscles. And so we have a young man who's a physical therapist and personal trainer, and he was saying that one time he had gone out and played 6 back-to-back football, what is it, flag football games. And when he was done, he had pulled his hamstring and he couldn't stand up straight. And
Right.
so he used some magnesium, sprayed it on the
Oh, yeah.
backs of his legs that were so
Oh,
tight
yeah.
and hurting so much. And previously he'd been hobbling around, couldn't make dinner. And as soon as he put that on, he was able to do deep squats and move those muscles
Yeah.
because they just didn't hurt
Immediate.
anymore.
Well, let
Yeah,
me
it
tell you,
really does that as
I've
fast.
I've got some crazy stories too. At Christmas, I put them in everybody's stocking, the muscle recovery thing. So
Uh-huh.
it's magnesium and it's what else is in that? It's got
So in the muscle recovery, we've got the magnesium, we've got seaweed extract, aloe vera, it's got dandelion extract, which is super detoxifying, and it's got 3 essential oils that were chosen specifically to help muscles to recover when they've been overworked. I think it's got marjoram, cypress, and lavender, I believe. And
well, I
so,
use
yeah.
I use it all the time. Like the other day we have so many boxes that come to us and shipments and we all get in there and my shoulder was bothering me because of the way I had something up there and I couldn't sleep and I put that stuff on and rubbed it in and you have to wait kind of for it to dry a little bit because I didn't want to lay
Mhm,
down because it would get all over my bed sheets. But
mhm,
it allowed me to sleep and it was aching and I couldn't sleep and it was gone. So my new my son-in-law to be, my daughter's getting married this year.
uh-huh.
I gave him some and he has lost his mind thinking that it's like some miracle thing because anytime he has any kind of pain, it goes away. And so my other son is a mechanic
Mhm.
and he went to work and some of the guys at work were complaining about some kind of joint pain. I said, well, DJ, you can give him some of this, keep it at work because you might need it. So one day he came into work and the guys have all their socks and shoes and pants rolled up and they're spraying this stuff all over. He goes, this stuff is amazing. Your mom is the greatest thing ever. And they're all using it. And DJ goes, I need another bottle. They used my whole bottle because all of the guys at the shop are using it. He goes, it's just the most amazing thing ever. I don't know what happens. And he kind of explained it to him because I explained it to him.
Uh-huh.
I have heard countless stories of stuff like this. And people like, "I don't know if it's just in my imagination or my head."
No,
I No, it does it to me.
real
It
minerals.
it does. And your
Yeah.
body goes after it because it's hungry for it. It needs it to process the 300 processes in the body that it does.
Yeah.
And, I can't tell you how many people have told me that, especially, like, people who are not believers in cultured foods or anything like that. They're just
Right.
people. They love that muscle recovery. So,
Good.
they're so funny because they're all got their pants rolled up and, "Your mom's amazing, man. This stuff works like a charm because they hurt,
It
you know?
does. Okay, do you wanna
So
hear the best kept secret?
yes.
It's not only good for muscle recovery, but it's really good for women's health. So if you've got menstrual cramps or any of that kind of
Oh,
stuff, or
really? Oh,
yeah,
I
so you
didn't
can
know
use it
that.
for
That would
that
make
as
sense.
well. Yeah, yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a good
because
one.
especially
We just
during
have it labeled wrong, so it looks like it's supposed to be in a gym or something. I mean, this is what the muscle recovery looks like.
yeah,
It's kind of, yeah, kind of
just a
masculine a
little
little bit.
bottle.
We just need to get a pink bottle.
Well, it's funny
So women
because
will
what
like
I
it.
do is I spray it on and I let it dry because you said once it's dried, then it's all absorbed and then you can wash it off because it's got like a little bit of a, what do you
A little
call
bit
it?
of a tacky feeling to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to it. But then I know it's absorbed and then the pain goes away. And
yeah,
I don't, at first I thought, am I crazy? Is this, and it does work. But
it
I tell
does
you
work.
what, I didn't think about the menstrual period. That's a really good thing to
Yeah.
tell people because you
Yeah,
never
and
know.
it's interesting because 'cause you'll find even as you get older and you don't have the period stuff anymore, it helps with menopausal and menopausal symptoms as well. And
Yeah.
so it could, if you're having a lot of hot flashes and those kinds of things, it kinda just helps. It helps to support that hormonal balance in your body.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
magnesium's amazing. It's just
I
amazing.
I just love, but I've always loved magnesium. I've written articles about it because
Well,
I
that's how we
remember.
met. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, I
Yeah.
saw one of your things on, or even maybe you had made a podcast about magnesium, and I
Yeah.
thought, "Oh, I gotta show her this magnesium because this
Yeah.
is different than I'm
I
sure
think it was
some of the
called the
others that
mineral
she's
that
used."
saved my life because
Yep.
they put me on huge doses of this to bring down my blood pressure because after the baby,
Yeah.
it stayed up high and they were trying to, and they made my blood pressure come down. And that was the
Yeah.
only thing they were giving me. So I'm laying in bed going, well, if that's the only thing they're giving me, then I'm low in magnesium all the time, which is also a problem. I always had preeclampsia with all of my kids, but
Mhm.
this was
Yeah.
prior to cultured foods.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what made me find it. But I also think that I've always struggled and I've known that.
Yeah.
And so when you contacted me, I just didn't expect I was so excited because I thought that's what they gave me in the hospital, and you said that
Yeah,
on the thing,
yeah.
it's the exact one they
This
use,
is the
right?
exact one, and so there are a lot of magnesium companies right now. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
noticed, but they're just popping up all over the place,
yes.
and a lot of them advertise that they're from the Zechstein Sea, and I'm sure that's a great source. Ours is sourced from the United States. It comes from a deep well here in the, it actually the well is it's on the border between Texas and New Mexico. They mine it as a liquid, and so it's a super saturated liquid that has just a large percentage of magnesium in it, and then they take it to a company that purifies it to USP grade purity. And so we are the only company that can buy it magnesium from this magnesium purification company, because all the rest of the places they sell it to are hospitals, clinics, and dialysis centers.
Oh,
They
really?
sell it all medical except for to Health and Wisdom. And so we do not
How did you
get
get that deal? That's awesome. How
yeah, so
did you get
we
that?
don't get the crystals from somewhere and just dilute them. And some of the magnesium out there, I think that sometimes people will use magnesium and say it didn't do anything.
Yes,
I don't know what the big deal is about magnesium because it didn't do anything. It's
yes, because they use
because you need to get the one that's concentrated and
right.
pure. And
Because that's
so
happened to
look,
me. I've used magnesiums that didn't do anything. I
right,
found one
right,
before you that I really liked, but then the company kinda discontinued stuff, and I'm like, "That one
right.
it works." And then
Worked,
guess what?
right.
They got it. I thought they said they got it from the Dead Sea. It was ancient minerals or something, but I can't
Oh,
find
sure,
it anymore.
sure.
But I don't
Okay.
know they said that, I don't know if they did, but it did work for me in a way
Sure. Well, and I
much
think the Dead
stronger.
Sea salts, I think there are a lot of companies that do sell Dead Sea salts. We're not the only one for that, but USP grade purity, that's kind of
Right.
what the one thing that sets us apart. So the liquids like the muscle recovery or the magnesium oils or gels, those all contain that pharmaceutical grade purity magnesium in them. And so,
Well, you mean,
so yeah,
I was thinking about it the other day, and, like, all of our bones are made from minerals, all
yeah,
these minerals there. Our bodies need them so much, and my body's really good at letting me know what I need.
yeah,
And I stumble upon things when I'm searching for answers, like, why do I have high blood pressure? Why did I have those problems when I have my children? And I always get answers for them. And it's so exciting to me because I really enjoy your stuff so much because it's so easy to use. By the way, I love your soap so much. I don't know what I'm going to
oh,
do. I have all these other soaps, but I like yours better because
yeah,
it's
it
creamier
actually it
and they,
has magnesium in it. Every
yeah,
bar is handmade, and this sweet soap maker that we have here in Missouri, she makes all of ours. She's been making 100 bars a day to try to keep up. She's been so busy, we might have to
they're
get a couple
so
more soap makers to
glorious.
add to it, but it's got a super creamy lather, and she actually specifically chose the different kinds of fats and oils to put in her soap because they are so nourishing to the skin. I mean, like she's got almond oil in this soap, which you just don't see other places, and it's a really nice soap.
I like
You don't
really
get the
go ahead,
I
sorry.
was gonna say, you don't get the big bolus of magnesium that soaks into the
Right,
body from the soap because it has a
right.
small amount, but if you do have something on the surface of the skin that you're trying to
Heal.
heal or clear up, the magnesium is really effective on helping, helping that skin to be able to heal. And so you'll notice that, if you've I don't know. For example, if someone is fighting to have eczema or psoriasis or something like that heal up, they
That's
would not want to soak in regular magnesium because it's just too strong.
okay.
But if you were to apply it to the skin, while, in addition to the other things that you're doing to support,
Mhm.
healing in your body, that, the soap is one that you could try on your skin
Well,
that would be
I've got
helpful.
dry skin and I'm in a desert climate
Uh-huh.
and it's the best soap for keeping my skin moist, and I use it to shave my legs too because it works so good because
Yeah.
it's so creamy, and so now I have all these natural soaps I have, and I don't wanna use them anymore, and I don't know
Oh,
what to do with them all because I have so many because I keep going in to our shipping department and getting another bar, and
yep.
everybody was just like, "Can I have another bar of that soap? Could you change the I wanna try the citrus one," or, "I wanna try" all my family is asking me for the soap because, well, I love it, and I have the other soaps there because I think I need to use them up, and then I'm like, "No, but they don't moisturize my skin." So and I didn't think I'd like them that much, but I love those stupid bars of soap. So, anyway,
They're They're
So
nice. I'm glad you like them so
yeah,
much. It is nice because they have no colors in them.
no,
There's
no
no
dye.
dye. They're very lightly, they're lightly scented with essential oils. So we don't put any perfumes in. So people that are trying to use just really natural products, the soap is really nice because it doesn't have anything added to it.
I
It's
know.
just
Well, you
really
kind of ruined
natural.
me because now I'm making my own laundry soap and I love it, by the way. And I'm making my own dishwasher soap, which is just basically washing soda and essential oils. And it works better than the stuff you buy at the stores.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
it's so good. I don't know if people are interested. I need to write up all the stuff. I've got these things that I put on my towels. Everything is like, everything's less expensive, easy
Mhm,
as pie to make,
mhm.
and gets rid of all the chemicals and toxins and dyes that
Right.
are in these things, and they're just like a couple ingredients, and I'm just loving it because it works so well and it's so less expensive. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's fun to make, but it makes a lot, and it's the same with the magnesium. It's like I'm finding these things in my life that make my life so much better, and they're just fantastic products that my body needs, and it makes such a difference, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
really been a lot of fun for me, and especially that was the reason I wanted to call you is because we just came back from those mineral baths,
Yeah.
and, I actually went to 2. One was just a day thing with my girls, but I was disappointed because it wasn't as good as the other one, but anyway, I still come
But, you
home
know,
and take my baths all the time anyway.
I was
You
gonna
don't have
tell
to
you,
take a
Donna,
bath, you can just use
when
the
I
right.
yeah, so in my life, in my former life, I'm a registered nurse and I worked as a school nurse during my career.
Mhm.
And I remember feeling so like I just didn't have enough tools in my toolbox because I would be helping these kids that would come in every day and a lot of them came in with pain. A lot of them would come in with headaches or something hurt and I just felt like I don't I hate to give these kids Tylenol
Right,
and ibuprofen and,
yeah,
NSAIDs every day that they're coming into my office and saying, this hurts, this hurts, this hurts. And so I don't know. I feel the same way as you. I kept thinking, what in the world could you use that would be better and more supportive to the body and help with, the pain that's caused by stress and anxiety, and headaches and those kinds
yeah,
of things that would not add to the body's burden, just like you're
yeah.
saying of toxicity. And so,
It's something the
yeah,
body needs, you know?
it needs it. Yeah, it just
What's it how
replenishes
many
this mineral it
processes? Is
needs.
it like 300 or something?
Do you know what? The more they research, the more they're finding. I mean,
It keeps
magnesium
going
does
up, right?
so much. It keeps going
Yeah,
up. Originally, it was over 300, and I think now it's between 5 and 6, but I'd
yeah,
have to look
that's
at
what
the
I thought
literature to
too.
see. Yeah,
Magnesium is your
but
friend.
it is.
So
Well, and it's interesting because it's so good at helping the body to relax. So if someone is struggling with asthma or allergies, I mean, like we're kind of just getting through this allergy season because everything's starting to grow right now. You find that that for someone who has asthma, they have got really tight, smooth muscles in the respiratory system. So their lungs are kind of tight when they've got, especially if they are exposed to seasonal, the
seasonal
allergens that are out in the environment. You'll find that if your magnesium levels are high, there are actually studies out there showing that if your magnesium levels are higher, that you breathe more easily and you won't have a severe asthma symptoms. And I'm not saying don't use any of your asthma medications. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is if you can raise the level of magnesium in your body, that your body will tend to over time be less reactive to things. And
I
so you
agree with
breathe
that
easier.
because
Yeah.
I have a tendency towards that, and I have to be, careful. Well, we have so many things blooming here. We have an orchard,
Right.
so we have lemon and orange and grapefruit trees, which I'm so thankful for.
Love that.
But there is so much blooming going on that I can smell them like a mile up the thing because I have so much and I'll
Right.
notice I'll take a magnesium bath. Okay, that's really funny. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this because I was out in the orchard today getting a bunch of lemons and oranges, and I can feel the allergies. I mean, my eyes get itchy and everything. So before
Hmm.
this call, I went and took a magnesium bath. I'm not kidding. And then I had to blow dry my hair really fast because you're gonna come
I
on here.
love
But I took one because it calms everything down.
it. It does.
Because I get covered in pollen down there, and
Yeah.
I'm allergic to it sometimes, but I've learned how to control it
Yeah.
because you need vitamin C, but I didn't realize magnesium was a huge part of that
Yeah.
until I started putting the 2 and 2 together and taking vitamin
Right.
C or putting on the magnesium oil, and it really helps me when there's a lot of pollen around, then it calms it down.
Right. Well,
So
and just like you were saying, you can put the magnesium oil or gel on your body, especially on the bottoms of your feet, and just let it absorb in. So if you don't have time to take a bath,
yeah,
you can still get that magnesium that
or
your
the
body
muscle
needs,
recovery stuff that
or the
everybody's
muscle recovery.
stealing from me, by the way. I have all these bottles and they're gone. They keep leaving. I sell it, so I have some, but I have it in my bedroom, I have it in my bathroom. My husband has 2 little things on there. And, one of my other kids will come in and go, "Can I have this? Can I use this?" And they never return it. So,
Right.
but anyway, that's okay. I'm glad they found it because I love
Nighttime
the
muscle
texture.
cramps. They're really good for that too. So you know how if you wake
Yeah.
up in the middle of the night and your foot
Yeah,
or
with
your
the tight
leg
thing. Yeah, I've had that
just
happen.
won't relax? Yeah, they're really,
Yeah,
really good for that.
feel
And it's
sweaty
interesting
on it.
because you just put it on the skin and it absorbs through the skin so quickly that it just kind of causes those muscles just
You s
melt. They just
Did you say the
relax.
blood vessels dilate to get it when you
They
soak?
do, and that's one of the reasons that a lot of people, when you'll use magnesium on the skin, it sometimes it can feel a little tingly or even stingy a little bit. And the reason for that is it does cause all those little capillaries to open up.
Right.
It causes vasodilation, is what you call it. So those blood
Yeah.
vessels are dilating, and it absorbs it in through and then goes right into the bloodstream, and it takes it to the rest of the body. And it's interesting because a lot of us, we may think our magnesium levels are great because we go in and we get a blood test and the blood test says, oh, your magnesium is within the normal range. The interesting thing about magnesium is 99% of your magnesium is inside of cells, not in the blood serum. And
Oh,
so when they test the blood serum, it will almost always say that your magnesium is within range because the body's very careful about maintaining a very strict
yeah.
amount of magnesium in the bloodstream, and it will actually pull it from the cells just to make sure that that is constant, because it helps with, I don't know, your pH balance and a lot of other things in the bloodstream. And so in order to really find out what your magnesium levels are, you have to get a different kind of test. I think they've got an EXA test or a couple of others that would actually test your cellular magnesium levels. But most of the time, the way that people tell if they're high or low is based on how they feel.
Mhm.
And if
So,
people are having things like frequent headaches or muscle stiffness or aches and pains, a lot of aches and pains, or low energy, just feeling really fatigued, um, or constipation
that'd
is
be
an
interesting.
indicator
Oh, is
of
it?
low magnesium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah,
it does help me sleep. My
and
goodness, it does help
lack
me
of sleep.
sleep a lot.
Yeah, it's a
So,
big one. I think probably more than anything else, people take magnesium to sleep because it's so good at
it's in a
helping
lot of
you
things now. Have
to
you
sleep.
noticed that nighttime
It
things?
is.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing all these people and they're like, "This helps you sleep," and I go look and see what's in the product. It's
Uh-huh.
always magnesium. I
It's
mean, there's other
magnesium.
stuff in there too, but
Right.
it's always magnesium. And, like,
Right.
there's some natural things that can help you sleep, like valerian root, but then over time, it stops
Right.
working. Magnesium never stops working.
Yeah,
So, I kinda wanted people to know because I've just always had, a struggle with hanging on to it, and I crave the foods that have magnesium,
I do
which I
too.
found interesting. And
Yeah.
I found, but that's just something that my body is actively using all the time. So and we
Sure.
all are. So the reason that I wanted to talk to you, and I thought I was gonna just call and talk to you, but I thought, "Ooh, maybe this might be of interest to other people." And I
Sure.
wanted to talk to you about these magnesium pearls because 'cause I'm getting ready to try them.
Oh,
I wanna know,
sure.
that is the most interesting thing I've read of all your products. I'm like, "Now wait a minute. I've never heard of this."
Yeah.
So I was reading it going, "What do you mean it makes the water thinner?" So can you explain to people, let me show the people what this looks like. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to.
Okay.
And but I wanted to talk to you about it. So it's this little bag.
Sure. Uh-huh.
These are, I don't know, is that too close or I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. So you can
Okay.
see as you get into that bag, can you see that they're just really, really fine little beads?
Yeah.
And pearls are actually made of a different kind of magnesium. So
Okay.
most of the magnesium we sell is magnesium chloride, which it very readily absorbs through the skin.
Right.
This is magnesium oxide, and they're kiln fired into these tiny little beads. And when water comes into contact with the pearl beads, it causes the water to become structured water. And so structured water, if you see water running down a stream, probably 10 to 20% of that water is structured water because it's moving and it just makes these little hexagonal shapes that are very easily absorbed through cells and into the cells of the body. And so with prills, what it does is when you put it in, so the prill that you have, for example, is the size that you would put in a gallon container of drinking water.
All
And
right.
so when you get those prills, you rinse them really well in running water for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you put it in a glass or a ceramic container. And after you put it in, it takes a little bit of time, usually a couple of hours or so. It will actually cause the water in that container to become more alkaline and structure that water. So that if you were to take a drop of that water and put it on a flat surface like a table or something, that water, instead of having, you know how most of the time water kind of beads up and it makes
Yeah.
kind of a little
Yeah.
semicircle. If you were to put it on the table, it would be flat. And the reason for that is it decreases the surface tension of the water. And because the surface tension is decreased, you absorb it a little bit better. And so it helps to increase your hydration. And some people say they really like the taste of Pril water because it is a little more alkaline. It also causes any heavy metals to fall out of the water. And so it removes heavy metals from your
Oh,
drinking
wow.
water.
And you said you can use this like thousands of times. Is that
You
true?
can use it for thousands of gallons of water. Yeah.
That
So
one
you
little
just
bag? This
Yeah,
can,
that one little bag. So what you do is you keep it in the container, you pour out the water you're going to use for cooking and drinking, and you could water your plants with it. You could feed your animal, give your animals drinks with it. And then at the end of the day, you just fill your container back up, stick it on the counter or in the fridge where you like it, and then start using it the next day. And at the end of the day, you just fill it back up and it will be able to convert, thousands of gallons. If for some reason you do notice a little bit of like a green tinge on any of the prills, that's because they're natural. It's just natural magnesium. And in our drinking water, we always have just a little bit of biological matter like algae or those kinds of things that kind of makes it through.
yeah.
And so if you do notice something, you can just put it in grocery store strength hydrogen peroxide for a couple of minutes. It'll bubble all that biomatter off of it, and they're just like they're brand new again, and you can
Rinse it
start using
again.
them again. You just rinse it off and start using them again.
And
So
you
yeah,
even have it for like laundry and well,
we
I
do.
make tea every day, like, and everybody
Sure.
drinks it as fast as I make it because I like,
Right.
especially in the summer too. But I like making like jasmine and green tea and stuff. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
constantly, you know, filling jugs of water up. So I thought I'm going
Sure.
to try this because I want to
Sure.
know every little bit, something about it. I wanted to ask you about it. It said that so you said it made the water thinner. That's because it doesn't bubble and it changes the
Right,
way
it changes the
changes
surface
the
tension
way
of the water. Mhm.
now. So it doesn't really give us magnesium though, right? Is that what
It
you're
does not give you magnesium,
right?
and you cannot I've had people call and ask, "Now, can I use this in place of a water purifier?" No. So you wanna use this in water that's already good to drink. So,
Okay,
if you use a Berkey or if I mean, it doesn't matter, you can
right.
use it in tap water. If you wanna use it in distilled or whatever water you use, it needs to be drinkable water if you're going to
Okay,
use the Pro water for drinking. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I have like
Yeah.
I get mountain water from. We've got a mountain near us. I'm just crazy because it's one of the reasons I get it is because it had
It
calcium
has
in it
minerals.
because
Yeah.
it had minerals. So I'm
Mhm.
always looking for that. I'm doing that,
Sure.
in everything I do. I'm looking for natural sources of things that are already present in our body
Right.
that we
Right.
need
Right.
more of because so many, our ground's been depleted of, the
Sure.
magnesium that naturally was occurring there because of over farming and
Well, and it's interesting because even the foods that used to be really high in magnesium,
are no longer.
often now, unless you're getting them from farms where they are doing kind of the natural soil preservation, where they're adding things back in to keep that soil healthy, some of the foods are not quite as high as they used to be. And a lot of
Yeah,
us are low in magnesium because, and I'm guilty of this too, the fast food is just so fast and easy. you
right,
know that that's all really low in magnesium. Your whole real foods like your beans and your greens and your nuts and seeds, those kinds of things are going to have more magnesium in them.
right. I know it's like I've kind of done a restructuring of my whole life. I've gotten just because I realize, and especially as I get older, how much the purer that I eat, and I'm not like
Mhm.
super like I don't ever eat anything back as I mean, it's just I make a
Sure.
lot of the things that I want, but boy, what a difference it's made
Yeah.
when you get these home, these little farms that take care of their soils. We went to a
Yes.
Mother's Day brunch at an olive oil farm, and I
Mhm.
love their olive oil. And I'm freaking out about some of the olive oil in stores now because they're saying it's not real. It's all there's a
Right.
big thing. Oh my gosh, there's thousands of articles on it about how,
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, long story short, so I try to get it locally grown because I like to support these people, and they had a big Mother's Day brunch, and I used their olive oils, and it was cool because they serve kombucha with lunch and other things, but
Oh, I
I
love
noticed
it.
a big difference when I started using that and not buying the olive oil, even though it said it was virgin olive oil at the stores.
Mhm.
These olives, I know they take it the day they take I was there, the day they take the, olives off the tree, they make it into olive oil.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
day, and they
And
really
they're not
think
mixing
about
it
it.
with anything.
They're not mixing it with, and you can taste the difference,
You can
but,
taste the difference. Yeah,
and
yeah.
our cells are made up of, they have oils in them.
They
We can
do.
burn off some of the carbs and sugars, which isn't good for us, but at least they don't stay in our cells. But
Right,
oils do.
right.
And so
Oils do. Yeah.
it's important to get the right kinds of things, and it's just a few little things you gotta tweak. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
So
healthy fats is one of the biggest first things
huge.
to kind of look at because if you're getting the wrong kinds of fats, just like you say, every cell has a protein fat layer. And if you're using the wrong fats, it's
They stay in your
causes
cells.
inflammation in the
They
cell.
make you
Yeah, and they stay
sluggish,
there.
and they cause all kinds of problems. That's a whole other podcast. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's just like there's just little things that I'm doing that don't take enormous amount of time. I can stick this
Right.
bag in a jar. I can do that.
Yeah.
Do you know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? I could take a
Right. Super
bath,
fast,
or I
super
could put
easy.
oils on me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Those are super fast. I can make a kefir smoothie. I do things that are easy, but they make me feel good, and I am chasing
Right.
this feeling of well-being. I have a
Yes.
certain level of well-being that I love and enjoy, and
Yeah.
if I deviate from that, usually it comes from diet, then I start to
Mhm.
feel sluggish and tired, so I quit doing it because it's not worth it to me anymore, because I want to feel like this all the time. I have tons of energy. Better things come my way when I feel good,
Yeah.
so because what you put out is what you get back, so,
Yeah.
and one of the greatest things that I've learned from you, one of the greatest tools I've learned is this magnesium. It has made
I'm
such a
glad.
difference for me. I use it constantly. Like, I just took a bath this morning because I had pollen all over me and I don't want to have problems. And it makes such a difference. I know that sounds crazy, but it does. It works. So, and just like some of the people who are like non-believers are using the magnesium. And I mean, I got so many people telling me it's so funny. They're like freaking out because they think it's like, well, how could this work? They don't understand, and I try to explain it to
Right.
them, but then it just goes over their head.
Sure.
But they works, that's why they keep using it. And that's what I
It
said
really
with
does.
cultured foods, it works, so I kept doing it. And it's the
Yeah.
same with the magnesium. So,
I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Donna. That
yeah,
just makes
it's
me
just been
happy.
I'm really thrilled about it. It's just something I really only promote stuff I really love,
Yeah. Well,
even.
and I think that's why we do what we're doing is just when you know that you're doing something that's not just helping you, but it's helping other people to gain better health or more, a better quality of life. It really makes it really rewarding to do what you do.
It
So,
does.
yeah,
And,
I love
the
it.
more you offer services,
Yeah,
humankind, the more it comes back to you. It really
exactly.
does because we're all in service to each other, basically. Each of us
Yeah.
has special gifts and talents and things that interest us, and we
Mhm.
can, use those things, even if it's just in conversation, to enrich other people's lives because we're passionate about it. Not very many people are going to be very passionate about some of the stuff I'm doing. Most of the time, people think I'm crazy. Culture foods, you leave your food out on the counter and you just let them sit there and ferment, and they freak out, right? But I know they made me well, and I know the science behind
Mhm.
it, and it's the
Right.
same with magnesium. There's a science behind it, there's an
Yeah.
understanding behind it, but I know it works just from personal experience, and
Yeah.
life is your best teacher.
Yeah, it
It
is.
really is.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
those other salts I used didn't work, so these did, and then you got me going to all these minerals baths.
On your soap and on your
I'm serious. I'm like, my husband even he was the one that found it. He's like, let's go here. They got these really cool mineral baths. And me, I'm the type that gets the brochure and looks at the minerals in the hot spring to see what they are. That's me. Okay. He just sees hot springs.
Ah.
But I enjoy learning stuff. It's
Yeah,
fun. And it's
it is.
exciting when it changes other people's lives. That's
It is.
joy unspeakable to me is to know. that it's changing other people's lives like it did mine.
Yeah.
So, and like it did yours. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to have you on. So I'm
Well,
very excited
thank
about my
you.
Pearl water. I'm gonna go try it. I want to see if what all happens, and I'll let
You'll
you.
have to tell me what you think after
You
you
know, I'm
tried
really
it.
excited about it. So it's just kind of like my next science project. So
Yeah. Well, and you know how everybody's trying to decrease the acidity in themselves because
yeah,
a lot of the foods that we eat and things kind of make our bodies a little too acidic. So
right.
this is one additional kind
It's
of
just water.
strategy that you can try. Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
water.
Yep.
And
Just
I'm
water.
constantly getting water out of my thing to make tea, so I'll just use this, and we'll
Yeah.
see. And then there's other uses for it too. You have different things, but we'll just start
Hmm.
with this.
Start
So,
with the water.
yep,
Yep.
see if
That
it.
sounds good.
Thank you, Laura, so much
Oh,
for coming on.
perfect.
It's
You're
just a
so
joy to
welcome.
talk to you because I love people who are, you know, passionate about things, health and are providing a service that is just tremendous to so many
Oh, I
people. To me
appreciate that.
personally.
Well, I love talking to you, Donna. I think you're one
Oh,
of my heroes because so many people look to you for better health. I mean, you've got a huge, huge group that would just adore you. So thank you
well,
so
I
much for
love them
letting me
too.
come on.
Like a
So,
mutual admiration side. I love them, they love me. And you know what? That's the cool thing, people can sense that, you know what I mean? I was
mm-hmm,
talking to some of the guys that manufacture my cultures, and I'm
mm-hmm.
like, "I really love these people, and I care about them. I want them to know how to do it the right way." Do you know, I'm not just
Right.
trying to sell a product, I really want them to know that this is can be life-changing, and,
Yeah.
some other people were telling him different things to do that weren't correct, and they wouldn't get all the benefits. It just, oh gosh, makes me not sleep at night. If
Right.
people, other companies that just say, "Oh, just do this," and I know that I
Right.
the benefits. So,
Yeah.
not that I've
Yeah.
got everything figured out, but I do have a lot of life experience. It's kind of cool now because I'm getting older, so it's like, "Ooh, I have a lot of life experience now from trial and
Right.
error too." Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right. Well,
60.
we're both over 60, right?
Yeah, I'm 64. I'm always the same
60.
as the year.
Yeah.
So, but
So we're
is that so
it
weird? How did
does.
that happen?
I know,
You
it's
know,
like, how did that happen?
I know when we had our 40th wedding anniversary, I'm like, "What? I don't even know how that happened." It's just like,
Right.
boom. And it was like, people were like, "Wow." And I'm
Uh,
like, "Yeah, it's weird because life just keeps it going." And as
it just
it's
keeps
cool though,
going.
I'm in a different era now. So, I am enjoying I'm getting more, how do I say, more in tune with what works for me.
Right.
As you age,
You know yourself better. You're more
yes,
comfortable and settled in yourself, and I love that. I'm feeling the same thing. You
yeah.
know, it's in your 50s and 60s, all of a sudden, you're not trying to prove anything anymore. You're
Mhm.
not overextending anymore, and you're a little gentler with yourself, and
I am,
I
I'm
just
nicer
think
to
it's a
myself.
nice yeah, it's a nice stage.
I also know what works for me. I know that I need more protein as I age
Mhm.
because you
Mhm.
lose muscle. I
Mhm.
know that I need to lift weights because it increases
Mhm.
muscle mass that I'm losing,
Right.
and it
Right.
helps my hormones stay young.
Right.
It tells my body to stay young.
Mhm.
I have I don't know, I'm doing all this fun stuff now. I've got all these different things I'm doing that, with that's why I wanna talk to you about the prills, but also I've got, like, I was talking about my laundry soap and my olive oil.
Yeah.
I've even got a
Yeah.
skincare not a skincare, but a thing that I found that's made from natto that I use on my skin, that I found this company to help my daughter a lot,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
made my skin glow, and it's just natto beans, basically some
I
of it
love
that's
that.
in it's called, Mix Soon. I think it's on my website under skin thing, and I haven't used it very long, but boy, it just makes your skin glow, and I'm like, "It's from fermented beans!" So I get really excited. Do you know what I mean?
Right?
'Cause I love natto, but I love it. It's like one of the leading skin products people are using, and guess what? I think it's from Korea. Is it from
Oh,
yeah,
is it really?
yes, it's from Korea.
Wow,
It's
nice.
called Mix Soon. It's on my website, but anyway, and they're all over the place. They're one of the higher, skincare products that people use on Amazon. People love it. And I
Nice,
discovered it's
nice.
exciting to discover all these things.
It is, and
It's
then share them
fun.
once you discover them. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes life fun. Do you know
It
what I'm saying?
does.
And you don't have to use it. Always go with, here's the thing, I follow my highest joy, and I get really excited about something, and then I look into it, and it has all these benefits. That is just a win-win for me. So, I look for
Absolutely.
things that create a lot of joy in my life, and then I share them with others when I find out, and then I research them.
Oh, Donna, that's
Oh,
so good.
that's just so fun for me. That's just
Yeah,
I have to credit my
yeah.
dad. He was, like, kinda like this. He kinda liked to do a lot of researchery, so I got that
Right,
in me, so but thanks for coming on,
right.
I appreciate it,
Well, thank you for
and we'll
inviting
have to
me.
do it again because,
I'd love
I
that.
mean, I learned a whole lot in 1 year, since I last talked to you. So
That's good.
But anyway, thank you, Laura. I really
That's good.
appreciate it. So, let me talk about your website. Your website,
Sure.
we sell a lot of her products, but you can also go to healthandwisdom.com. Is that correct?
Healthandwisdom.com.
Healthandwisdom.com.
Yeah, and find us on Amazon and
And the
Walmart.com.
Amazon. They're on my site. I don't care. Just find the things that help you. It's enjoyable to promote people who are doing some really good things in the world. So anyway,
thank you.
I appreciate it. So I'll let you know how this goes.
Okay.
And, we'll be in touch. So,
I would love
I
that.
appreciate
Sounds
it.
good. Thank you, Donna. Have a great
Uh-huh.
afternoon. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.